Okay. So we are going to understand what is the meaning of Java uh, file system. Means ki how Java language offer file system read and write operation. File system read and write operation.
Right.
That means sometime our application till now, whatever we learn, you notice whenever we are writing whenever we are running applications, our applications give some output, right? These give some output, right? Whenever we're running application, and
Right.
all the output is gone or destroyed after the program finished, right? And next time or next day you cannot check what is my output, right? Because we are not storing or persisting our output, right? Clear? Because might be if you look our systems, whenever you restart your system, you can only things able to view that is already somewhere persist in your file system. File system is like here in the case of window we have a like uh, different you can say drives where like in my system we have a C drive and D drives. The C drives I can create some folder or you can put some data, we can put some file, right? So whenever you are persisting something in your file system, that is for your permanent size, you can say, until these drives are not destroyed or not someone delete, right? So till now how, I say ki I want to store one message in a file system. So if I write here like S out, okay, and say this is the test message, right? This is a test message, right? Okay, this is my test message, and I maybe let's loop empty stream range and say 1 to 10. 10 times I run the message and just dot for each, and whatever the I say, I am just writing the message, right?
Right.
So here I my system, my software generate 10 messages. This is the test message. Okay. If you run, they generate the 10 test messages. Test message 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So these are the data currently in my only screen, right?
Mm.
Once I close this editor and I want to, where is this my message? This are 10
Ajay bhai,
messages.
I have one quick, just a small question.
Yes.
When we use in stream, we don't have to declare stream, right? We don't have to declare it.
Yeah, you have to. This is the declare, na?
Oh, okay, okay,
This is the
okay.
import section. Whenever you are going to any Java library class, you have to inform, hey, this entry stream is under the java.util.stream package. This is the beauty of your IntelliJ IDEA. Whenever I am type this automatically import, right?
Okay, okay.
Last
I see.
class, whenever revise our package and section, whenever we are writing the classes, class go to the particular folder. Now it is Java folder, util folder, stream folder, they have this class new. So whenever we are currently this my sample class inside a com.gl dot this package, right? So this is the
Right,
different package, and in this have only one sample class, but sample class cannot know where the int stream class. So you can
right,
say, hey, just find out this location, import section, right? So you can do same from the for loop 1 to 10 for loop. Already we already study about the same functionality already given by in this stream API. Then why cannot use the stream API, right? Same thing you're going
right,
to manually for loop, right? For loop from 1 to 10 I plus plus and do it, right?
right,
So we learn the existing API, so we are using. Or same thing you can manually you can do here like for loop, right? The same message
Right.
for integer I equal to 0, I less than 10, semicolon I plus plus, right?
Right.
And just write this and write this code. Okay, both are the same thing, right? Great, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
we already study these things, so I'm using not manually for loop, I am just using the for empty stream repair, right? So this is the way. Until you are not going to use, you are not become a familiar, right? Again, I'm writing this code, means I'm familiar with only this, right? But I have to make ourselves familiar in the existing Java library, as well as then we have to regular times we have to use them, right? The only intention here to use the existing whatever you till started, right? So both notice both have a same output. Here first to 9, here
That's right.
first, right? Correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, good. So here our intention is not learn the files. Here I'm explaining ki whatever the our application generate program output, these are not stored anywhere, right? Until I am not running, I can. So is there any mechanism we can store this information in some file system, so that in next times or any times I can see this information somewhere stored, right?
Right.
So generally, if I say, hey, can you write this information in your particular file system? Generally, what you do? You going to the your any drives, okay, anywhere, whatever the place you are, and just you can maybe create some folder or directory structure, maybe any C drive or D drive, whatever the place you have, right? The first you have to find out the where I'm going to store, right? Let's say I'm going to store C drive. C drive, let's say I'm going to create one folder like test, right? Test folder. In this test folder, I'm going to save this message. So notice here I'm not writing anything. You need some file, right? Maybe so I
Right.
can, I'm going to create one new test file, right? And here say I'm say this is a test file, right? And whenever
Right.
you open this test file, and here you can write your message, something, whatever the message currently. Let's, this is the message, okay? This is the 10 message. Now you can here save them, right? And now you can save and you can close them, right?
Right.
So this is the way you generally in the Windows file systems we are doing. So whenever you are going to save any data, you have to first find out the place where you are going to store, right? Like
That's right.
here, this is the I storing inside the D drive test folder, and in the particular, this is the directory structure where I'm going to store. This is the folder, but folder cannot store any data. You need a file. Here I'm created one test file, right? In this
Yeah.
test file, I am able to write something, yes, save something, right?
Right.
So here, these activities as a we user manually doing. So this activity I want, why not my software can do for me, right? Why our software cannot do? Software can do if you tell them, right?
Right.
So now this is our responsibility. I am going to telling, hey software, whatever you are giving me this output, can you write in the C drive in that ABCD folder, right? Then
Mm.
Mhm.
software do. Then manually we are not going to do. So here Java say whatever you are doing manually, going to particular maybe C drive or going to particular D drives, and inside drive you are not writing any content, right? You are not writing any text. You need a one particular folder, write file. So let's say I'm creating the one particular folder. Inside the again folder, I'm not writing any message in the folder. You need a some file. Let's say I create the file ABCD, right? I create one ABCD file. I open this file, and in this file I write whatever the information I have, right? And after that I just save this file. So in this way manually we are persisting our some data, some information. Now this manual activity I am going to redirect my software. That means we are learning here Java language, so why not Java language do for me? The
Mm.
Java can do if we tell Java, Here in our program, we are not telling, hey Java, write this information to the file. Because here I'm saying, hey Java, you just print this information on the output, right? Due to that, they are printing an output. So in any application, any software is doing only those things which are you tell them. Here I'm telling, hey for loop, just go print this message 10 times on the console output. So due to that, I am running this program, so are you always looking the 10 message on my console output, right? But after that, this message will not store anywhere. This will destroy. If I'm close IntelliJ and I want to figure out where this message, I cannot found, right? So let's think how we can do this activity in a Java. Till now, any doubt, any confusion?
Uh, no, it's clear. So uh, I have one question though.
Yes.
So when we try to save, when we say we are saving data,
Hmm.
are we is does it mean that we are saving data like in a file
Hmm.
directory or data in a database? Or is it
Both have
same
a,
thing? Hmm?
both is the same thing.
Or it's the
Both
same
are the
thing?
meaning same thing. Whenever you are using the any Linux-based machine or Windows machine, whatever information you are going to store, that always store in your memory. Memory
Memory,
means
yeah.
hard disk.
Hard disk, yeah.
The two kind of memory. One is your hard disk, right? This is
Hmm.
the permanent storage device, right? Second,
Right.
your RAM memory. Okay,
Hmm.
RAM memory. RAM memory means whatever the currently program running CPU, always using this RAM memory. So whenever I'm opening any notepad, I'm writing something. Whenever I'm opening any notepad, right here, I am writing
Oh,
the test message, right? Test message. So this message are till now stored in our RAM memory, right?
right.
This
Right.
message. And whenever I'm going to close it, they give a option. You want to save them or not save them. Means now here operating system ask you, you want this message I'm going to store permanently for you. Maybe later point of view you want this or not. So till now this message one was on my RAM.
The RAM, yeah.
RAM means ki our operating system currently used memory, right?
Right.
But I say ki don't save. Means ki this information is not stored in your system, right? This is one option. Second option, that till now, whatever we are doing in our all the classes, we are just running application, getting output, and saying just discard them.
Right.
Right?
Right. Hmm.
Now we are going to say next step. I am running something. I have some data, right? I have some data, but don't discard them. Go and save. So whenever you're going to the save, they are going to the save your data, right? Somewhere, right?
Right.
So instead of don't save, I am going to say, hey, window, save this data. Permanent location means hard disk, right? So whenever I'm going to save, they ask me where you want to save. Because I find in your system have a two folder, two directories, C drive and D drive, right? You give me the option. Windows by default not decide where this information you want to persist, right?
Right.
So you
Right.
have to select, okay, I'm going to save in the D drive. Okay, D drive have a give me, I can save here or maybe it's a test folder and just give me message ABC, right? Whatever information, give me the file name. So this information now save. Later part, you can go and open this information. You find still information is stored, right?
Right. Right.
So these things are we doing as a manually user. So all the informations, whatever going to store in a file systems, in a file system. File system is some directory, some files, some folder you are storing. Maybe talk about the database or any file system. Database is a one software which take data from you as a query, insert query, and they are going to store in again file system,
Oh,
right?
okay.
So now You as a user only interface interact with the database software UI, right? User interface, yeah, command prompt. You give me the some insert query data, those data go store in the file systems. Okay, due to that,
Mm.
whenever you are storing any information in that, this is known as a database. Database is a software component. Okay, database is a software component which provide the user interface, maybe command line, maybe UI, maybe and some syntax. Whenever you
Okay,
can
okay.
use this syntax, they receive your data and store in your permanent file system, maybe C drive, D drive. Whenever you installing your software, they asking the folders where they are going to software install, right? Whenever
Okay.
database, you are installing database MySQL or Postgres, any database. Whenever you installing, they are by default going to the C drive. You want to change the D drive, go to the install D drives. And while the drives, they have internally managed all the file system, right? So in
Right.
nutshell, whatever informations are stored in a particular computer, laptop, server, they need a file system. File system is where data is stored. This is known as file system. That means the hard disk. We are storing data in the hard disk, right? Clear?
Right.
Any doubt till now?
No, no. Java also understand Linux file system if you want to
Yes,
save
yes,
something.
yes,
Okay,
yes, yes.
okay, okay.
We are going to discuss because whenever we are this program, whatever you written, this can be run on the Windows, can be run on a Linux, can be run on a Mac, can be run on a XOS, any OS, right?
Oh, okay. So it is compatible with everything. Mac
Everything.
Tech, everything. Mac,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So whenever we are going to only differences about this window or Linux based machine, the file structure, right? Somewhere they are storing in the file path have a differences, right? File
Yeah,
path have a some
bypass.
different
Yeah,
file path, Linux have a different file path. So those
that's right.
file path is handled by the developer. Just we have to tell, hey, Java, now we are going to store in the Linux base. So please use the Linux file system. Java library, no. Sometimes you say, hey, use the path system of the window. They are use them, right? So we are going to understand each and everything, right? Okay. So yes, it's this file system is managed by the all the operating systems. Which operating system have a JRE available? Okay, Java
Right,
runtime. Because running your Java application, this component must be required. Java runtime system, right?
right.
So finally, you notice in our example, manual example, what we are doing, we are storing some information, right? And after that, whenever I say open here, this means what I'm doing, I am reading. This means I am read this file. So here you are doing two work. One, you have a some information for you open a file and write some data. Okay, whenever you are save, they are going to store in the particular file system, right? Whenever you open means you are reading. Here I am able to view this message too. That means I am reading this message. Uh,
Okay. Hmm.
this is the like we are using Notepad plus a Notepad. These are the software which help us to view this data. So generally, in a file have a two kind of operation. One is your write operation, another is your read operation, right? Write
Right,
operation and read operations. So till now, write operation go store information in your hard disk, permanent storage device, and they are stored in the some binary numbers. Okay.
hmm, right.
Whenever you are writing plain text like A, like a B, like a C. A, B, C are not stored in the electronic device. Okay. So whenever you are storing these information go to convert binary systems and binary system perspective, they are stored in this electronics device, right?
That's right.
But as a human being, I don't know ki what is this electronics device, what is the number, what is the binary number. I want to read data. Again, I want to read ABC itself, right? So here, whenever after store, whenever you are reading, then again I'm using some software to read this data. So here I'm using the notepad. So notepad read data from this file system hard disk and give me readable format. So I'm able to read this message. So here, still, this is the one software I'm using. I'm using the Notepad. Notepad is a software where say you can write English language and I can persist your information in the file system. File system don't know ABCD. File system directly store in the form of binary or machine language, 10 language, right?
Right, right.
But due to the existing
So,
software, yes,
so when you create a file, you don't mention that it's a notepad or Word. You just create a file,
yes,
and the computer save it in a binary format.
yeah. Internally, they are stored in the your RAM, right?
RAM, yeah.
RAM, in the electronic device, right? The electronic device doesn't store any information like X, A, B, C, D. They just know about the 0 1 format or some high voltage, low voltage data, right?
That's right. Yeah.
But as a human being, we are saving some text. The I want some text as a read, right? So these writing and reading user human friendly is possible due to the software component. So this is the notepad is a one software. Window, I'm using the software. GUI is the software. All things are the software. Due to that, I'm able to see this content right here.
This is a
Only
software component. Yeah.
due to the software. Software give me human readable text, right?
Mm.
So similarly, like Notepad is a software, this my window is a software. Similarly, we as a Java language, we are building a software, right?
Right.
Learning a programming language that can build a software. So while software, we have a two kind of operation, read operation and write operation, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So here, as a Java programming language, we are going to understand what is the read and what is the write. Means ki how we can write data in the file system and how we can read data from file system, right?
Right.
So for these, we are not going to how to write. Let's say a programming language, how I can write data in a particular file system. So surely we have to take the help of existing Java library, right? Here I want to print this message on console. I don't printing, I am just using the help of Java library. Hey, say, hey system class, your out variable, can you print my message? So this message, this is your my message are print on the console. So here we are using the help of Java library. This is the Java library, right?
Correct.
Similarly, for storing information in a particular file system, again we are going to take the help of your Java library and say, hey Java library, please write this message in a particular file system. This is the file name and here you store. And after that, read again say, hey files, Java library, I want to read this file. Give me the content to me. So whole file system, we are just going to understand what are the method, what are the classes as a Java library offer us so that we can get the benefit to writing message in the file system and reading message from the file system.
From the
Message
file
is
system.
any kind of data, right?
File system means this is the end destination. That's where the data
Yes.
go.
Yeah, file system is
Yes.
the permanent storage of your information,
Understand. Okay.
right?
Yeah.
That means they are going to store some your hard disk. So as a Java programmer, we cannot interact with the hardware, right?
Right.
We cannot how we don't know ki how we are going to write data some hard disk. I give you hard disk, you cannot write any data in the hard disk, right?
Correct.
So we are using the help of software, existing library, existing function that enable us. You can write data in the hard disk, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So this library, this software help us, right? The whole here in the Java file system. So The naming convention say uh, the component, a module name of Java is name as a file iOS, file input and output. Means we are going to learn Java file input output system. Okay, file input and output. Input means writing, output means read. Sorry, input means we are writing data. Okay, and output means reading data. Okay,
Reading data. Yeah.
output. So these operations we are going to understand in coming classes. How we are here input doing two things. Input means getting input from the user. This is the user, right? This is the user
Right.
getting data from user and writing to the file system. This is the write operation.
Right.
Output means I am reading from file system and giving to the output as a user, right? So this is the read operation. So this is the write operation means we are getting input from user and writing to the file system. And output system is I am reading data from the file system and again giving back to the user so that user view as a output, right?
Right.
The logic clear? Input and output. Clear?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So let's think basic class is a Java name as a file itself. This is a good thing. Java given a same name as a name is the file is the one Java class. Okay, file. So notice this is by default imported by the package name is a java.io.file.
Input output.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the package name java.io.package. So here for all the basic functionality of file is wrapped by the Java designer in this class, file class, right? So first things, all the file operations for read and write, we are going to use the existing Java classes. The class name itself is a file. Is it clear?
Right.
So let's see. I want to store hello message in the file, right? So how to do? So you notice whenever you are getting the class, you can want to call some method. Then first you have to create the object, right? First you have to create some object right here, like file equal to new something, right?
New file.
Yeah, new file. Because file is a look file class. Look the definition. File is a not an interface. File is a simple class, right? So I can
Correct.
create the object, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Good. So
If it's not an interface, then we would write differently.
different way.
Yeah.
Implementation classes we have to find out, right?
Yeah.
But here notice they are not happy with this way because they not find any default constructor. Means ki this file class is not provided any constructor with a no argument, right? So due to that, our compiler is unhappy. Compiler say, you cannot create object file using this default constructor. Na? Cannot resolve constructor file. That means
Okay.
this class is given some different constructor, right? Maybe one argument constructor, two argument constructor, or three argument, right?
All right.
Is it clear? So that means we have to use the let's check the Java library and check what kind of constructor they have upper. So by default, you this is the beauty of your IntelliJ idea. They give us this help, right? Notice they have given us maybe
Okay.
multiple options. One file with a two argument, one file with a two argument, one is the one argument, one other two argument, one argument and three. This means multiple files option you have to create, but no with the default, right?
Right.
So that means here, how to know? Just move your mouse, they give a option, right? Or just click F3 here, right?
F3. Okay.
Go to implementation or type, super method, all the options we have, right?
Right.
I'm using just F3. So F3 give us, right? But in your system, let's check what the option. Go to here, declarations or usage. Here in my IntelliJ I have option F3. Might be your IntelliJ have a different option, right?
Okay, okay, yeah, yeah.
So here you
So
notice
that's
they give me these are the beauty of your IntelliJ idea. They give us, hey, Java, for if you want to create the object of the Java file system, you have to use this following classes, a constructor.
constructor, yeah.
So this is the one way using the editor, and second way how to know what the constructor I am going to use. Then you have to follow the Java documentation. That means you have to go to the Google and ask, hey Google, I want to know the uh, Java Java file doc. Okay, documentation, right? And they give your open the library here. And now you open the Oracle site, and here complete class hierarchy you have. What is the class? They have given the lots of definition here, and
Right.
what are the variable they have declared, and what are the constructor they have. Right? Notice these are the constructor. Notice these
Okay,
are
okay, yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
constructor. So this same things are highlighted by here your IntelliJ, right?
IntelliJ, yeah, yeah.
So if are using the any ID by default they help us. If you don't have ID, but these are come from this Java documentation.
Right.
You if you want to create the object of file class, you have to use this one argument constructor or two argument or one is the URI, one is the your string parent, string child, one is the simple path. So it is you so create a new file instance by converting the given path name string to this here. So
Okay, okay.
you can give me the path name, or you can give again file class as a file object or string object, or parent or child. So here say create new file instance from the parent path and child path string. So there are multiple options right here. So here I'm not going to just deep dive all the things. Let's think the basic. Okay. So I'm just here. Hey, I want to create the test file. Okay. So now notice our constructor created. I just part the file path name, right?
Oh, so second one. You pick the second one.
I because this is the one argument constructor, right? I'm
Yeah, yeah,
using
one argument. Yeah, 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 yeah.
right this. If you pass two arguments by default, yeah, test. Let's see ABC. So notice they have this is string one, string two. That means they will choosing this one, right? Because
Yeah. What is this string child? What is that thing?
child means like one parent class folder. You can say in folder inside a file, right?
Right, right.
Parent child relationship, right?
Formula. Mm. Yeah.
So by default, lots of this file class have a option given. So one by one we have to explore. Let's hear simply. Okay, right? So now at least you can successfully create the object of file, right? File object. Okay. So here, what you can do? Let's check what kind of method they offer us, right? So here say file dot, and you can here check. Here multiple option like here can read, create new file, or can write, compare to, delete on exist, equal, exist, get absolute path, get canonical path. I'll discuss get free space, get name, get parent file, get path. Lots of method exist, right? Is
Right,
this
right.
file or is this directory? What is the lane? What is the list of subdirectories? So lots of method this class. Abhi make dir makes create the directory,
Mm-hmm.
multiple directories, rename, right? This class
Mm-hmm.
has lots of methods, two path, two string, two URI, right? So
Mm-hmm.
how this IntelliJ know? Again, Java doc. Go to the Java doc.
Mm-hmm.
Now constructor after the comma there are methods. These are all the methods which are currently seeing
What is
IntelliJ, right?
doing? Okay. Mm-hmm.
So here you can read out all these methods, right?
Right.
And also categorize what are the static method, what are the instance method, what are the concrete method, what are the deprecated method. Deprecated methods, don't use them. The one thing you should aware, what do you
These are
mean?
the
Ah,
these are the method list. The
yes.
earlier you showed all the method list, right? When you
This
put
is the
dot.
all method. This is the all method type.
Okay,
This
okay.
is the static method types. This is the instance method type. This is the concrete method type. This is the deprecated method types. So just I'm want to share कि Java. What do you mean by deprecate method? Means कि currently this class have one method two URL. Notice two URL. And notice
Yeah.
this is deprecated method. Deprecated method. Java just give hint us the developer. Hey developer, just avoid using this method two URL method. In coming releases, might be this method can going to be deleted from the library. Okay, surely coming now 21 or 22 or 23 or 24, this method is going delete from file class. So this is the
Right.
meaning of deprecated. Means key method does not automatically some problem. This method have some problem. Due to that, Java designer say कि in coming release we are going to delete this method to URL. So don't use them. So as a practice, whenever you are going to call any method, please check is a deprecated method or not. So
Okay.
how in the IntelliJ this is a good option. Whenever you say dot, they all the deprecated method they have given option like cut. This is
Hmm.
not this is the cut option.
Right.
Right? Is it?
Okay, okay. Yeah, yeah.
So this means this is a deprecated method. So while writing code, you maybe you don't go and look the documentation. Just using the ID, you can figure out. Oh, this is a
Right.
deprecated method, right? Okay.
Right.
And notice whenever you calling deprecated method and go to the definition here, this is the annotation at the rate deprecated. Whenever any method Java decided going to deprecate, they have add this annotation at the rate deprecated. Means
Right.
this method is how intelligent know कि I am going to show this is deprecated due to this annotation, right?
Right.
Okay, so this is the later part we'll discuss detail. Okay, so first things let's key I am going to write some data. Okay, check this in the right method. Notice here you cannot write any data. There is no right option. Let's check can write what this say. Let me check output.
Necessary.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes, dot s out. Okay,
Hmm.
and check this method we can write data or not here. Okay, so in this object can I write data something or not? They give me no, you this is the kind of file path. The file path really be able to write data or not? You can say no, false, right? So you cannot write data here in this object, right? Is it clear? So
No. So why? But when you put dot, it showed up can write.
hmm, can write the existing Java function. They tell us here you can write something or not write something.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. I
I'm
see.
just checking. I'm using one function can write means I'm able to write some data here or not in this test.
Oh, it's a boolean.
Yes,
It
it's
return
boolean.
bool.
It's true or false. So question is that how I can write data here. Okay, or read data, compare data, lots of options. So here we have to create something. Create new file. I have to create one new file. This is the I want to create one test file, right?
Okay. So uh,
Yes.
line 23, is
Uh,
it not a new file you created?
This is not a path name. They are just
Mhm.
setting the one path. Here I am going to start something, right? But
Right.
till now they now created the file for you. Okay,
Okay. That's okay. Okay.
wrote it. And notice whenever you call this method dot create new file, they give me some error message. Notice what error message? This method throw exception, handle exception. Because this method, whatever written, whenever we read exception handling, you say कि any method throw some exception. That means you have to handle them. We have to handle in the try catch, right?
Right.
So here, what I'm trying to say, you are going to create new file, so you have to handle in the try catch, right? Why? Because these methods are throwing exception. Is it clear?
Right. Yes.
And
Mhm.
check the output and let's run. So this is the way whenever you are going to use the Java file system, you are need to handle many exceptions, because now our Java runtime system going to work with the operating system, right? And might
Right.
be someone file deleted, someone file renamed, someone file removed, right? The
Right.
application can break. Due to that, say कि always we handle my exception. Okay,
Right.
so let me
So this one is the the code is asking us to put try
notice.
catch.
Notice here. Okay, now I have to somehow select open file. Just okay. So notice I have created one test file here, and notice here
Right.
in left panel, this is the one test created here. Notice here,
Right. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
if you look this open in a file browser
Mm.
explorer, so notice here one test file created,
Right.
and let me our code. So whenever you say here simple dot create new file, now it's created the new file. Okay, so how to write data, okay, in this file, okay,
Mhm.
or get absolute. So we have to create a data, then we have to find the path of the file. Okay, let's get file. This is the now you get the absolute file path, right? So here a couple of classes we are going to understand basic things, right? And then we have to start reading and writing. This is the so this is need some lots of Java library we have to going to use, right? So couple of
Okay.
more classes. Notice this is the path they created. Notice if you want to know where this path created file, right?
Mhm.
So we have to use another method, absolute file, right?
Right. Right. Yeah.
So first things you have to create the file and question, can I write something? Then we have to
Mhm.
use again different method, different classes that offer the right method. Notice here there is
Mhm.
no only right method. I just say right. Notice here file dot write. There is no right method, right? So if there is no right method, how can I write data? Then I have to use different file writer class. I'm not going to use this file writer class is another new class. File writer, okay?
Mm.
File writer. Notice, let's check file writer is the interface or class. Notice, file writer is also the class. So you can create the object. Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So let's say new
New file writer.
writer. Again, they think there is no default constructor. So again, we have to check. Notice here multiple constructor. So I can use this file constructor because we have already a file, right?
That's right. Yeah.
I am going to use this constructor because already we have a file test file. In this test file, I am to write something. So I'm to say already I'm created this file object. Let's pass this file object, right?
Right.
And now this file writer have a option file writer dot write, and here I can write my message.
Mhm.
Hey, hello world, right? Okay, and
Yeah.
dot. Okay, write method is a boolean. Let me check. I think yes, write method is a void. They are not returning anything, right?
Okay, okay.
So I cannot take variable. So that means here till now what we did, I somehow I am just remove this unnecessary thing right now. Just for just for reference, right? Okay. Just I removing all the things, right? And okay, this is clear. I'm just created what file object. And in this file object, I can say pass here. Hey, in this file, I'm going to write something, right? Okay. Okay. Why say boolean? Why unnecessary semicolons? Again, say warning. Let me leave out. I'm I'm just commenting unnecessary things. We have to later discuss. Already understand what the meaning of here, how to find the path, right? So now let's just here write file writer done message something. Whenever I'm getting this output or not, right? File writer done. Okay, and let's run the code, right? So till now what we did, I just also commented this line. Okay, let's just go simple line. Okay. So here I'm just writing three line. I'm creating one file object test, right? And I'm saying in this file I'm going to write something. So here say, hey file writer, this is this file instead of okay, just file. This is the file object, and I'm going to write this hello world. Just run it, okay? Run it. And notice I am getting the done message, right? That means, but question is that where this message is going to written, right? In this
Right.
file, right? So already we say this is my file test, and go check here. Okay, file dot write, and we have to file close. After opening file, we have to close this file,
Mm.
right? And let's check. Notice here, this file,
Oh.
this message come, or maybe you can open here, and here you can open this in a notepad, and notice this message is written here, right?
Mm.
So this is the what we did as a code. Here what we are doing, here I'm saying hey Java file system, I'm going to create one file, name is the test, but this file have not any writer object. I want to write something, then we have to use again file writer object, and file writer object need key where I'm going to write the file. So you say hey, this is my file, this is my file, right? And you
Yeah.
can write them, and once file writing done, then you have to close this file. Notice whenever in the window you are opening some notepad, you are here writing some message, after that you have to close it, right? Whenever you closing, they are giving the option to save, right?
That's right.
Similarly, if I'm not writing to the close, that means they are expecting still you are writing something, right? So I'm saying hey file writer, it's done, my message done, okay? And once you this done, that time this data is going to written in your test variable. Okay, so one thing here I am able to one option done now we have a one of data message, right? Message here I say hey file object, this we create one file object here I am to write, but they have not in the right function. So we can say hey we have one more class file writer. I can use a file writer. File writer have a write function, and write give me this is the message, and just write them, then they are going to write in the file system. Okay, so here we are using two classes, one is the file class, another is a file writer class. File writer for writing the file, where they are going to write in this file. Which is the file? This is the file.
Yeah.
Any confusion?
So when we type the file name, which
Hmm,
is test,
hmm.
uh, it is showing up
Huh.
on the left hand side.
Later
The
part,
insert.
why they are showing by default here? By default, because this is the pro- Java application running from this my folder, right? So by default,
Right.
this folder they Java app they are going to create. Here later part, later classes, we can say I want to C drive, I want to D drive, a specific path. You
Oh,
have
we
to give.
can do. Okay.
So
Yeah.
by
Yeah.
default, if you're not passing any path, they are going to use this your where your code is written. Time written is in the Java app. The Java app they create this test.
I see. I understand. Yeah.
So let's think. This is the file writer part. So I am going to let's keep file the same thing. I am going to what read. This is the file written. So let me. I am just click here. Okay. Why are not opening this file? Okay, I'm just go to the source. Cancel. I'm going to just now let's keep this is the one part done. That means we are able to write data in the file system, right? One part
Mhm.
done. I want to read this data. Okay. One
File
thing,
read.
I
File
want
read.
to read. Yeah, we have to use the file reader. So
File
currently I'm
reader.
going to open the file manually and read here. How our
Yeah.
code no, right? So here
Right.
instead of here, I'm going to write one class file reader. Class file simple simple file
Mhm. Mhm.
reader. Okay. Here I am going to write public static void main, and here say the same file I want to read. This is the file I want to read.
Mhm.
So this is the file I am going to here. This is the file I am going to root, and this is the try class. Might
Mhm.
we can file someone maybe I try file not exist, right?
Right.
So you have to use the try catch. Okay. So here and here I am going to use the file reader, reading the file. So file reader equal to new file reader. And here again we have to which file? I want to use this file, right?
File object.
And here say file reader da. Notice whenever we are going to read file, at this
Mhm.
time, this program don't know this file one line written, two line written, 100 line written, 1,000 line written in this file.
Mhm.
Because this program which are going to read, they know this is a file name exists, right? I am going to read. So reader is somehow let's function. What the function they have? They have a read function, right? They are
Yep.
going to read, but read you have to tell the number of buffer size. I want to read first one line or two line or 100 byte, 100 byte, 100 byte, 100 byte, right? So here we have to give some tweak, not just read. Read maybe not written all the value to you, right? So you have to say I am going to dot read. So let's just read, okay? And
Mhm.
later part,
Right.
okay. And just take, let's check what they return. They return one simple integer number, but this not solve our purpose, right? We are want to actual message which are in a string. Notice something 72 something, right? What is this? I don't know, right? So this way we cannot do, right? So let's say reader file reader dot read. I'm going to apply some uh, buffer reader concept here. Read uh, line option है read line. This is the one method read line. Okay, so here we have to reuse this file reader and target no buffer char buffer. let's a character of ch equal to new char of 100 buffer and just chars, okay, and output this chars. So later part we are going to read multiple new classes which help us to read actual. Notice that the now convert to string.
Two string.
1 minute, okay, and this way. Mhm. So these are the very basic classes. Due to that, you need lots. Notice here. Notice we read a hello word and lots of, notice some junk character.
That's right.
So why? Because you created characters of 100, right?
Right.
Means ki currently we have only this data. So best option you have to use the another overloaded constructor where they are passing the length. Notice read have a this fast starting to the length, right? So here say I'm going to 3 is starting. This is our characters. Start from 0 and end your maybe character dot length. Length
Right.
maybe I don't know the length as of now. Let's I want to 20. Okay, so they read only 20 character, right?
Right. Did it run?
It's running, yeah?
এটা কি আটকে গেছে ভিডিও?
I believe.
আটকে গেছে রে, সে তো আওয়াজ দিচ্ছে না।
Refresh দিলে তো হবে।
উনি উনি লগ আউট হয়ে আবার ঢুকবে। তুই লগ আউট হইস না, তাহলে কিন্তু ঢুকতে পারবি না।
True, true.
আজকের লেকচারটা একটু ইন্টারেস্টিং না?
Interesting, yeah.
ফাইল সিস্টেম। আজকে সকালে কি ওই মেয়েদের সাথে ছিলি?
না আমি করতে পারি নাই, আরো তো কোনো কিছু জানা নেই।
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ, ওই তো
ও দেখছে যে নাই, ও মহা খুশি।
মহা খুশি।
আমার মনে হয়েছে যে আজকে এশার নামাজের সময়,
হ্যাঁ হ্যাঁ।
এশার নামাজের সময় মনে হয়েছে ও আজকে না ক্লাস ছিল।
কোনটা? ওই যে মেহেদি?
মেহেদি ক্লাস, হ্যাঁ।
হ্যাঁ, ওইটা একটু ক্যাচ আপ করা দরকার রে।
যাই হোক, সবারই তো ই থাকে, তোর তো এখন
তোর তো ঘুম এসে গেছে মানে।
হেভি ঘুম পাইছে, রাত 2টা বেজে গেছে না।
আজকে মনে হয় উনি আর ব্যাক করতে পারবে না।
না,
চল আমরাও জায়গা। উনি ওনার মনে হয় অন্য কোনো প্রবলেম হয়ে গেছে নাকি। নর্মাল তাইসা পড়ে ওই আসে। Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Yeah.
Sorry, the network disconnect.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. So this is the my screen is visible still? Not
Not yet.
No.
right.
Yeah.
So this is the way you can get data, right? So today, coming more classes, we are going to understand the easy way to write the data, right? This is a one way to reading the data, right? Notice in this program, I'm not writing any data, but just reading. Another program, I'm writing data, right? Here I'm writing data. Another program, I'm just this program, I just read data. Notice, I'm not written data. Just I read this is the hello world, right?
Right.
So let's wind up this class today, and coming classes we have to understand more reading classes, right? So
Yeah,
today,
that helps. Yeah.
Today we have to understand how to write data and how to read data. Writing data, you have to create the file object and pass to the file writer, and file writer have a write method and file close. Similarly, here you have a read, and after reading you have to close them.
Right.
Close them. So this is the syntax we have to follow: read and write. So two classes we are using the how to read data and how to write data.
Write data.
So here you are understanding extra space because I am created here hundreds of buffer, right?
Right.
Will later classes we are understand more easily classes that read the complete line by line. Here we are understanding read by the buffer size wise, right? Okay. Any doubt?
No.
No, I'm good.
Let's try it. Let's try it, and we'll discuss later. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
Ajay. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye. Yeah.
Bye. Anis.